This is Albion Online.
Hello and welcome everybody. Today I want to make a very exciting announcement. When we set out to make Albion Online 9 years ago, we had a clear goal in mind. We wanted to create a deep and meaningful player-driven sandbox MMORPG and make it as accessible as possible. For many years, we worked primarily on the depth and mechanics of the sandbox experience. When the game began shaping up, we made it more accessible through a cleaner UI and by adding a constantly improving tutorial to guide you through your first steps in Albion Online. But as many of you know, our ambitions for accessibility went much further. We want you to be able to play the full PC experience wherever you are and whatever device you have. For this purpose, from the very beginning, Albion Online was designed as a cross-platform game, playable on PC, Mac, Linux, but also on iOS and Android mobile devices. Making Albion Online playable on mobile devices has been a challenging journey. We never compromised when it came to the depth of features and mechanics, so we had to, and in many cases still have to, find ways of making these complex features accessible with the limited space available on a phone screen. We've also had to adapt controls from mouse controls to touch controls to ensure mobile players would be able to compete with PC players. Finally, we had to optimize the memory usage and performance of the game to run in the significantly more limited hardware environment of mobile devices. This process is far from completed. With a game on the scale of Albion Online, there is always room for improvement. However, after making significant improvements in terms of stability and playability on mobile devices in the last year and a half, we believe the time has finally come to take the next big step. So get your phones and tablets ready. Whether you simply want to do some farming or market browsing on the go, or if you want to experience dungeons, PvP and the full depth of the game away from your PC. Albion Online is coming to the iOS App Store and Android Play Store on June 9th, 2021. After downloading the app, all existing players will be able to freely log into their accounts on their mobile devices and will automatically qualify for a special cross-play reward, the Chimera Mount Skin for your riding horse, as well as 100,000 fame in non-tradable tomes of insight. Of course, new mobile players will also be able to use their accounts to log into any of the native PC, Mac or Linux versions downloadable from albiononline.com, and they will also be able to receive the Chimera Mount Skin for doing so. So, whether you're an experienced Albion Online player or a new player interested in starting the game, we invite you to download Albion Online on your mobile device and join us on June 9th, 2021.
This is where I first had the idea.
Hey, what's up, guys? No, just checking the market.
I realized that a shopping cart isn't only for fruit, milk and toilet paper. I wanted to play Albion Online whenever and wherever I went.
Don't you guys have phones?
I didn't want to miss out on any of the action. Which is how I came up with the cart. Obviously, there's some drawbacks. And sometimes I draw unwanted attention. But then, some of my friends even picked up the idea.
Ortiz, wait for me, I'm almost there!
Ready to engage.
No! Push! Northeast!
Yes, boys! Big trap! Get him!
Come on!
Yes!
Nice work, guys.
I'm just really proud of what we've built.
Ah! No!
Maybe you should try this. That's right, Albion Online is going mobile. Finally, you can take the full PC gaming experience with you without having to bring the entire PC. Join your friends and millions of players from across the globe from anywhere you like. Explore the world, play dungeons together, or engage in challenging PvP fights. Alone, in groups, or in massive guild versus guild battles. Gather resources, craft, or trade on the go, or simply check in on your personal island for some spontaneous relaxation and lucrative farming. The whole world of Albion Online now fits into your pocket.
In Albion, you can be anything you want to be, as everybody has their place in this magical world. Imagine that you are a miner. You are gathering ore in the mountains to supply your guild with precious resources. The blacksmith of your guild crafts the best weapons north of Sea, using the ore you bring him. Your guild, the Eternals, control the mountain area of the Western Outlands. Thus, they can control the market for weapons and ore, all thanks to your gathering of that precious resource. Your guild's merchants travel south to bring swords and unrefined ore to the city. Sea lies in the swamps, an area where no ore is to be found, so good quality weapons are scarce and sell well. This guild, the Ivory Raiders, is hunting animals for hide, which can be found plentiful in the steppe. This is also home to ancient animals, rarely to find in Albion. The guild then sells their precious loot in the city. Your merchants are buying valuable hide from the hunters, which they will need for armor, bags, and saddles. They then load their oxen and set out to return to their home in the mountains. The way back home is long and dangerous for your merchants when they ride through the swamps. These people call themselves shadow stalkers, outlaws lurking in the swamps. They prefer to plunder caravans traveling through rather than working and trading. The battle is short and brutal. The raiders are much better prepared. Overwhelm the few defenders you brought, plunder your caravan, and disappear into the swamp. You cannot let this happen again. The trading route from the mountains to Sea is far too important to let it be controlled by bandits. This means war. Your guild decides to drive the raiders out of their home base and take it over. If you succeed, you will control the swamp, giving your guild access to fiber. The best warriors and mages of your guild fight for the watchtowers and territories of the enemy. But a war is not only fought by warriors. Weapons break. Territories get destroyed. Warfare is a huge logistical challenge, demanding a vast amount of resources. The Shadow Stalkers fight back fiercely, but with each battle, your guild gets closer to their home territory, until a final, devastating blow ends this war. The sword that did the final strike on the enemy was made of all that you gathered. You have found your place in Albion. Everybody matters.
Welcome to Bridgewatch. We have made our home in the steppe, where there's an abundance of ore, fiber, and our most valuable export, leather. But a war is brewing, and our lands are under threat. Join us in our fight to to help make our faction the envy of the continent. With each new region we conquer, your benefits and standing will grow. Well done, soldier. Take up arms and fight for your city!
Hey, you. How'd you like to profit from this war? Why don't you join me for a drink, so we can discuss the plan? Our scouts tell us other factions are squabbling over outposts in Wire Forest. The Western Front, meanwhile, remains uncontested. Know what that means? Easy pickings. Though if we get ambushed, it's every man for himself. If we get out alive, you'll be rewarded handsomely. If not, well, let's not talk about that.
So, you think yourself a fighter? We have seen your kind before. You believe the petty skirmishes of the world above, the true meaning of war. But here, in our realm, the rules are different. You will emerge victorious with untold riches and power, or you will not emerge at all.
There are many paths to glory. Which one will you take?
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of following a laid-out path. Explore a vast open world. Everything you do has an impact on Albion's player-driven economy. Every piece of equipment is crafted by players from resources gathered by players. The equipment you wear defines who you are. Switching from knight to magician is as easy as swapping your armor and weapon, or be a combination of the two. Venture deep inside dungeons and discover wealth and danger in equal measure. Relax by retreating to your personal island, where you can build a home, grow crops, and raise animals. Grab a fishing pole and head for Albion's rivers, lakes, and oceans. Join a guild, play together, take part in massive player versus player battles, and claim your piece of the world. This is Albion Online.
Gamezplay.org